There are 6 benefits sitting there, waiting for you the day you turn 60. Most National Guard retirees never claim all 6. Not because they don't qualify, because nobody mails them a letter telling them to. And one of them, the last one I'm going to tell you about, could mean you were eligible for retired pay years before 60 and never knew it. Some retirees find out at 63. That's 3 years of money they left on the table. Here's what you need to understand about the Guard retirement system. It is not like Social Security. Social Security will nudge you. The military will not. Your 20-year letter is a notice of eligibility. It is not a payment. Nothing starts automatically. There is no switch that flips on your 60th birthday. If you do not file, you do not get paid. Full stop. On this channel, we go through the actual regulations, the actual forms, and the actual deadlines, because the difference between knowing and not knowing is real money in your household budget. Today, I'm walking you through 6 benefits you are owed at 60. We'll start with healthcare, because that's the one that hits your wallet hardest and fastest. Then dental and vision. Then your ID card and everything it unlocks. Then survivor protection, which has a window that closes. Then VA compensation and the offset rule that costs people thousands. And we'll finish with the one almost nobody knows about. Stay with me to the end for that one. Before we start, understand step 0. You must apply for retired pay. You do this with your branch's personnel command, not with the VA. Army Guard members go through Human Resources Command. Air Guard members go through the Air Reserve Personnel Center. You should start this roughly 9 to 12 months before you turn 60. Not the week of, not the month after. If you file late, your pay generally starts when they process it, not when you turn 60. There are limits on how far back they'll go. I have talked to retirees who lost a full year of pay over a form. Don't be that person. Now let's get into the 6. Number 1. TRICARE health coverage as a retiree. If you've been in the gray area, you know the drill. Between your 20-year letter and age 60, you're retired but not receiving pay, and your health coverage options were limited to TRICARE Retired Reserve, which you paid for out of pocket at a premium that made your eyes water. At 60, that changes completely. You become eligible for TRICARE Prime or TRICARE Select as a military retiree. The cost drops dramatically. Your spouse is covered. Your eligible dependents are covered. But here's the trap, and it catches people every single year. You are not automatically enrolled. Turning 60 makes you eligible. It does not make you enrolled. You have a limited window, generally 90 days from the qualifying event, to pick your plan and get enrolled. Miss that window and you may be stuck with only space available care at a military hospital until the next open season. That means a whole year with no real coverage for our family that thought they were covered. Call the TRICARE contractor for your region. Confirm the enrollment. Get a confirmation number. Write it down. And one more thing. At 65, TRICARE changes again. You move to TRICARE for life, and that requires you to enroll in Medicare Part B. If you skip Part B, TRICARE for life will not work for you. That's 5 years down the road, but put it in your calendar now. Number 2. Dental and vision through FEDVIP. This is the one people assume doesn't exist. They think dental disappeared when they left the drill floor. It didn't. FEDVIP is the federal employees' dental and vision insurance program. Military retirees are eligible for it. You can enroll in a dental plan, and once you're enrolled in a TRICARE health plan as a retiree, you can also enroll in a vision plan. These are group rates. They cover cleanings, fillings, crowns, exams, glasses. For a retiree in their 60s, dental work is not a small expense. A single crown can run more than a year of premiums. The catch is the same as number 1. Nobody enrolls you. You enroll during federal benefits open season, which runs in the late fall or within 60 days of a qualifying life event, like turning 60 and picking up TRICARE. If you sit on it, you wait until the next open season. That's another full year of paying cash at the dentist. Let me ask you something. How many of these have you actually filed for? Be honest. Hold that thought, because it matters for what's coming. Number 3, your retiree ID card and everything that comes with it. At 60, when your retired pay starts, you get a retiree ID card. This is not just plastic. This is a key. It gets you full commissary and exchange privileges on base in person for you and your spouse. It gets you MWR access, which means gyms, golf courses, campgrounds, ticket offices, and military lodging at rates that are a fraction of what you'd pay outside the gate. It gets you full Space A travel privileges, which for a retiree with time and flexibility can mean flying to see family or taking a trip for the cost of nothing but patience. And this is where I want you to pay close attention, because this is where the biggest miss usually happens. Your retiree status also unlocks state-level benefits, and those vary enormously. A large number of states now fully exempt military retired pay from state income tax. Some states offer property tax exemptions for retired veterans. Many offer free or reduced hunting and fishing licenses, discounted vehicle registration, state park access, and in some states, tuition benefits for your spouse or your kids. Nobody at the federal level is going to tell you about any of this. It's administered by your state. Go to your state's Department of Veterans Affairs website, not the federal VA, your state. Spend an hour there. I have seen retirees find thousands of dollars a year in property tax relief they'd been paying for a decade without needing to. Number 4, the Survivor Benefit Plan election. I want you to sit up for this one, because this is the benefit with the hardest deadline and the worst consequences if you get it wrong. Here's the thing. People don't understand. Your retired pay stops when you die. It does not pass to your spouse. It stops. If your spouse has been counting on that check and you haven't set up the Survivor Benefit Plan, that income disappears the month you're gone. You had a chance to elect Reserve Component SBP within 90 days of getting your 20-year letter. A lot of people declined it back then or didn't respond at all because they were 42 years old and mortality felt theoretical. If that's you, 60 is your second chance. When you apply for retired pay, you get an SBP election opportunity. 2 things to know. First, if you decline coverage or elect less than the maximum, your spouse has to sign off in writing. That is deliberate. The law is protecting them. Second, this is not a decision to make casually because the premium looks annoying. Run the numbers. Ask what happens to your household if you're not there. SBP pays a percentage of your retired pay to your spouse for the rest of their life with cost of living increases, and it cannot be outlived. There is no private product that does exactly that. Premiums also stop once you've paid in for 30 years and reached age 70. If you skip this window, you generally cannot come back later and buy in. Get it right the first time. Number 5, VA disability compensation and the offset that quietly steals from people. Let's clear up a myth first. Guard service counts? You can absolutely file a VA claim for conditions connected to your active duty periods, and for injuries incurred during active duty, for training and inactive duty training. The knee you wrecked on a jump, the back you ruined loading pallets, the hearing you lost on a flight line, the lungs from a burn pit deployment. File it. VA compensation is tax-free. It does not reduce your Social Security, and it does not have to compete with your retired pay. If you know one rule, here's the rule. Historically, you could not receive full military retired pay and full VA disability at the same time. Your retired pay was reduced dollar for dollar by your VA compensation. But there's a program called Concurrent Retirement and Disability Pay, CRDP. If you have 20 qualifying years and a VA rating of 50% or higher, you can receive both without that offset. For Guard and Reserve retirees, this kicks in at age 60, when your retired pay actually begins. That's not a small difference. For a lot of retirees, that's several $100s a month, every month for life. There's also combat-related special compensation, CRSC, for disabilities tied to combat, training that simulates war, hazardous duty, or an instrument of war, CRSC is tax-free and it starts at a 10% rating. But unlike CRDP, CRSC requires a separate application to your branch of service. Nobody enrolls you. You have to file. Now stay with me, because number 6 is the one I opened with. This is the one that makes people angry when they learn it late. Number 6. You may not have had to wait until 60 at all. Under a law that took effect in early 2008, qualifying active duty service performed after that date can reduce your retirement age below 60. The general framework is this. For every 90 days of qualifying active service, typically served within the same fiscal year, your retirement age drops by 3 months. It cannot drop below age 50. But if you deployed multiple times after 2008, that math adds up fast. Some retirees are eligible at 58, some at 56. Here's why almost nobody catches it. It's based on your orders, and orders from 15 years ago are scattered across systems, units, and paper files. If nobody audits them, nobody applies the credit. And I've talked to retirees who filed at 60, got approved, and only found out 2 years later that they'd actually been eligible at 58. That's 2 years of retired pay they may never fully recover. So do this. Pull every set of active duty orders you have from 2008 forward. Request an audit from your personnel command, specifically for reduced retirement age eligibility. Ask them to show you the calculation. Do not accept a verbal answer. One important caveat. Even if your retired pay starts early, your TRICARE retiree health coverage still begins at 60. The pay gate moves. The healthcare date does not. Plan around that gap. Let me bring this together. 6 things. TRICARE, which you must enroll in, not just qualify for. FEDVIP, dental and vision, which exists and which you have to sign up for during open season. Your retiree ID card, which unlocks base access, Space A, and a whole layer of state benefits your state will never call you about. The Survivor Benefit Plan election, which protects your spouse and which closes permanently if you let it pass. VA disability with CRDP or CRSC, which can mean receiving both checks instead of one, and your retirement age itself, which may be lower than you were told. The thread running through all 6 is the same. Eligibility is not enrollment. You served the years. You earned the letter, but the system waits for you to raise your hand, and it will wait forever without ever telling you it's waiting. That's not fair, and I'm sorry it works that way. But knowing it is how you beat it. Start with the orders audit and the retired pay application. Those 2 take the longest. Do them first. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me which of these 6 you'd already filed for and which one you'd never heard of before today. If you found out you might qualify for a reduced retirement age, say so, because there are people reading those comments who need to see they're not alone. And if you know a Guard retiree approaching 60, send them this. It might be worth years of pay to them. Verify everything with DFAS, your personnel command, and your state veterans office, because rules do change. But start today, not on your birthday.